What is next for the White Sox and Dylan Cease? Dylan Cease may be the most hyped and talked about pitcher on the trade market. The Atlanta Braves seemed like a perfect fit, but no, not going to happen. Chris Getz and the Braves, Alex Anthopoulos, could not come together on a deal. Alex Anthopoulos got an opportunity with the Red Sox. Chris Sale goes to Atlanta. So what's next for Dylan Cease? Could we see the Red Sox pivot and make another trade? I don't think we can rule that out. We're going to take a look at that rotation. They need one or two more pitchers. The Orioles, they've been rumored for some time now as a potential fit. I think Yankee fans, after missing out on Yamamoto, it's something you want to do. And Dodgers, I think the Dodgers cannot be counted out. They have a deep farm system. Maybe they can give Chris Getz what he's asking for, an overpay on Dylan Cease, as they continue to assemble a super rotation. Comment down below. We have a 100 comment goal for this one, everybody. What's your thoughts on Dylan Cease? Where's it going? What's the trade? Those watching the premiere, make sure to hit that like. Help us get to our 100 like premiere goal, and it'll help us get to the overall like goal. Those watching the video on your time, even if you missed the premiere, make sure to hit that like if you enjoy. Let's go. Let's talk about this thing again. It seemed like the Atlanta Braves were the perfect fit here, but they traded for Chris Sale. Braves and White Sox have been engaged for a while on a possible trade, but could not work one out, and AA pivoted to Chris Sale. Cincinnati Reds, another team that have been linked to Dylan Cease. We're going to talk about what was leaked as to the package that Chris Getz wanted in return. We'll talk about that, but the Reds now signed Nick Martinez about a month ago, and most recently signed Frankie Montas to a $16 million contract. So what are the White Sox doing? Do they really want to trade Dylan Cease? Getting back to that Reds conversation, Cincinnati.com, The Inquirer, we have Jason Williams' words on the leak. What the White Sox wanted in return. Edwin Arroyo, Rhett Lauder, Connor Phillips, and at least one more prospect. Chase Petty was another name that was dropped. That's a lot. That's an overpay for Dylan Cease, and I think we can all agree with that. We can validate that with the Baseball Trade Values website, which we'll do in a minute, but we can all agree that's a lot for Dylan Cease. For 2 years of Dylan Cease and a guy coming off a poor season. Still, a lot of swing and miss, a lot of strikeouts in that arm, but not the best time to maybe trade him. So let's take a look at this again. First up, let's start with the Boston Red Sox. We've got a rotation that needs improvement. Lucas Giolito is currently the SP1 based on Fangraphs. And after you're done laughing, we'll continue on here. I'll give you a second to finish laughing. Then it's Nick Pivetta, Brian Bayo, Tanner Houck, and Cutter Crawford. More needs to be done. Two pitchers need to be brought in. Maybe Dylan Cease is one of them. What's the value on Baseball Trade Values? I said we were going to get to that. 40.4, which seems about fair. But based on the package that we heard was leaked that the White Sox wanted from the Reds, Phillips, Arroyo, Lauder will include Petty, we're looking at about a $62 million value. So 40 is on Baseball Trade Values. 62 is what they wanted from the Reds. And the Braves, I have it on good authority that a rough package was AJ Smith-Shawver, Hurston Waldrop, Dylan Dodd, Vaughn Grissom. Not a package, but what gets wanted. That's not the package that was on the table. Let me be clear. But that is on good authority, roughly what Chris Getz wanted. And that's 57.9. So we're looking at about an overpay of 60, getting up to 60. So going over by 20 from what we just had. Again, Baseball Trade Values had him at 40.4, but we're going to have to put some trades together here that take us to 60. So we got to overpay if we're going to meet Chris Getz's asking price. So the question that you have to ask yourselves, Boston, New York, Baltimore, LA, are you willing to put these packages on the table, these packages that are technically overpays to get Dylan Cease? We'll start with the Boston Red Sox. Again, we know all about that rotation. How about the trade? Here's what you would be looking at. You'd get Dylan Cease, but you'd have to give up Kyle Teal, Nick York, Ceddanne Rafaela, and Vaughn Grissom. The Vaughn Grissom Boston Red Sox era would be over just like that. But we know Vaughn Grissom was in the package that would have been going to the White Sox, so maybe that's an easy one from the Braves. Maybe that's an easy one to include. we would be looking at a $60.5 million value going from Boston to the White Sox with Teal, Rafaela, Grissom, in York for Dylan Cease. Let's move on to the Baltimore Orioles. We'll take a look at their rotation. It's good. It's coming along. But if this team wants to really make a push, we need to add more talent into the rotation. Cole Irvin, get him out of there. Dean Kramer, the 5. John Means, the 4. Grayson Rodriguez, the 3. And Bradish and Cease, 1-2. That's a good rotation. So let's go for it. What's it going to have to be? Now, we don't have to go to 4 players here, even though everything we've looked at so far has been 4 players, because, again, we're trying to get to the value. We got Westberg, Kierstead, and D.L. Hall. No Santander, no Cedric Mullins. The White Sox, I do not believe, I don't believe they want guys that only have 1 or 2 years left of control. They want players with a ton of control, and that's what they would be getting with this group of players. The value is 62.8 headed to the White Sox. So we're a little over that goal of 60. Maybe that gets it done. Orioles fans, would you do that? Let's move on to the New York Yankees next. Look at the rotation. This was supposed to be a lot better than what it looks like. Cole, great. You missed out on Yamamoto. So here's the urge to go out and do more. Carlos Rodon, big question mark. What's he going to be? Clark Schmidt, he's good, but do you want Clark Schmidt as the 3 for a World Series team? I don't know if it works out that way. Then you got Cortez at the back of the rotation. That's fine. Beater, get him out of there. Dylan Cease is your guy. So what's the trade? You're going to have to give up Spencer Jones, Everson Pereira, and Will Warren. Are you into that if you are a Yankees fan? Now, look, you can use baseball trade values to manipulate this and put together a package where you send like 8 players to the White Sox and you can avoid having Spencer Jones in this trade. But that's just taking us to a completely nonsensical arena. And let's try to avoid that if we can. We're trying to make this as realistic as possible from a website that, as it is, sometimes the values, I get it, I'm with you on this. Sometimes I'm like, huh? What? But this is roughly what you would have to do. You have to give up a top prospect. You have to give up 2 top prospects, a pitching prospect. You have to give up 3 of your top 10 prospects at the end of the day. At least 3 of your top 10. And this is a situation that the Yankees would be in. Would you do it? Comment below. This is what the overall package looks like. We're at 66.9, so we are on the higher end of all of these trades. This would be the trade that you would think could get it done if you were comparing all 4 of these trades. Let's move on to the Dodgers. This is a team that has such a stacked, deep farm system that of all the teams that we're looking at, I think would be most likely. Will Boston part with the prospects? I don't know, maybe. Will the Yankees part with the prospects? I think I kind of feel like they need them. And the Orioles, with the situation that this team faces where they're not going to go out and spend big on free agents, so they need to have a stacked farm system. Can they trade away the farm system? The Dodgers are in a different spot. They have an elite farm system, and they can go out there and spend money on free agents. So these players in the farm system, they're expendable to some degree. Let's take a look at the Dodgers super rotation again that they are working on. Yamamoto, Glasnow, Buehler, Miller, Sheehan, and I'm convinced that Clayton Kershaw will be a Dodger this summer. Don't believe anything Ken Rosenthal's talking about with the Rangers. It's the dumbest thing on the planet. Ken Rosenthal is slacking talking about Clayton Kershaw and the Rangers. The Rangers want 3 aging starting pitchers that won't be back until maybe middle of the season. Yeah, that sounds right. They want to add $15 to $20 million for Clayton Kershaw to pitch half the year, and makes no sense. You're slacking, Ken. He will be a Dodger. I love Clayton Kershaw. He will be a Dodger. What's the trade got to be for Cease to the Dodgers? Diego Cartaya, Miguel Vargas, Nick Frasso, Ryan River. We're back to a 4-player package. We have a $61.1 million value, and this is a good, solid trade. Vargas, Cartaya, that's 2 nice pieces right there, and you're getting 2 pitching prospects, Frasso and Ryan, who really don't fit into the mold here. Don't have a spot with the Dodgers and their rotation over the next couple of years, the way they're building things. So you move to pitching prospects that are rather expendable and give you $20 million in value. Cartaya and Vargas are on the way out. You're going to have to lock in with Will Smith. Don't mess around. Get him extended. And you bring in Dylan Cease. But at the end of the day, does Getz just hold? Is he not interested? Because look, I tweeted about this yesterday, that these fan bases that I'm talking to right now, the Red Sox, the Yankees, the Orioles, and the Dodgers, are you prepared to overpay for Dylan Cease, which is sort of what we're looking at here? Some of you are, some of you are not, based on the responses that I've seen. But what I can tell you is at this point, the front offices have not overpaid. So that tells me that the front offices are not inclined, because we know they've been talking to the Braves, or they were talking to the Braves. We know they were talking to the Reds. They're talking to everybody. We know they were talking to the Dodgers. They've talked to everybody. Yamamoto's been off the board for over a week now. They know the market. No deal has been done. None of these front offices seem to be inclined to overpay for Dylan Cease. So does Chris Getz hold and roll the dice that he'll get those 4 prospects or 3 top prospects overpaying in July at the trade deadline? What if Dylan Cease gets hurt? What if Dylan Cease is pitching to an ERA in the 4s again? What if? There are some concerns. It's a risky proposition. Typically, when you drive a new car off the lot, you don't increase the value. It decreases. Every mile you put on that vehicle decreases the value. Isn't that the same thing for players in baseball? Every inning, every month decreases the value. We're expecting the value to go up, Chris Getz. All right. We'll see how that works. Comment down below what's going to happen with Dylan Cease. Is he going nowhere? Will one of these 4 teams step up? Comment below and let me know what you think, and where's he going to go, and what's your trade. We have our 100 comment goal, so make sure to participate down there. Those watching the premiere, make sure to hit the like if you have not yet. And if you're watching this outside of the premiere, still hit that like if you enjoyed your time here. Help us get to our, or at least close to our overall goal. That is going to do it for this one, everybody. I do appreciate you coming in and spending some time with the channel. It's going to be very interesting to see what happens with Dylan Cease. Maybe something goes down in January. Maybe Chris Getz changes his tune. We will see. Again, Ballcap Nation, I salute you. Thank you for a terrific 2023. Happy New Year, everybody. Stay close to the channel because there's good things coming in 2024. As always, if it's low, let it go. And if it's high, let it fly. I'll catch you next time.